Hello there everybody, welcome back to another pro demo review. In today's episode, we're looking at everyone's favorite player from APAC. Of course, it's Onigiri, the 6th invitational single map kill record holder and all-around wholesome dude. We're going to be looking at play day 2 of APAC South from stage 3 and his pretty strong performance against Tide, a 1.64 rating, 15-7 kills and a +4 on the entry. Let's kick things off. It took place on Cafe, and we start with Elevate getting control of Red Stairs. Wow, what a surprise on Cafe. Now, if you know me, you know that I don't like Cafe. I don't think it's that bad of a map. It's just so incredibly one-dimensional, and there's just very few sort of paths that attack especially can take in getting sight, and a lot of it does revolve around Red Stairs at the start of every round. It's just the way it is. And we'll see Onigiri on the Dokkaebi. DMRs are his staple, whether it be on attack with the Dokkaebi, or maybe even like a Lion 417 for instance, or the Aruni on defense. That's what he's known for. 4v4 to start things off. Onigiri will begin the charge in towards Cigar Lounge. Now the shield is still standing. Impact EMP, and have gone 6 to try and clear it, but he kind of misses the mark, but he still wins the fight. Probably shouldn't have gotten away with that, but unfortunately Text doesn't win the fight initially, and Onigiri punishes him. Pretty similar result there with Shibe. And you can rely on Onigiri to be strong on these entries, even in conditions that aren't super favourable. Sapper now for the plant. Onigiri will get a pretty common but powerful cross here from Washrooms. And now you can watch the rotate back up white. Gets timed there on Mentalist, but I think he might have heard him or he has info. Either way, pushes through and gets the kill, so that's 3. This is a pretty entertaining way to start off the demo. Now it's Nate left in the 1v3. He'll have to retake one of the staircases, whether it be red or white. He goes for the ladder. Onigiri's ready. Quad kill to kick things off. And if you've never watched APAC, if you have no idea who Onigiri even is, that round should give you a pretty good insight as to what he's capable of. Tide rotate over to Bakery for round 2, and Elevate employ the Montang here to try and get some pressure. And it looks like they've created that space. At least they have a read here on the player Cupcakes. We'll get a very quick look at Sapper. You can see the information he's relaying here to Onigiri. Oh. But Elevate haven't been able to really capitalize and find a pick yet. See how they go about doing that. Eventually that's the case. 1-for-1 trade. Not the worst there. I think Elevate probably could have been a little bit tidier with it there, but nonetheless, the pressure, the space they create, eventually gets it down to a 3v2. This was only the beginning of the stage, really, for Elevate, but... Oh, engagement with Tex. Unfortunately, didn't quite go their way. We didn't see Elevate at the major. They needed a couple of results to go their way to even qualify for SI. They get minced here in the 3rd round, just some awkward engagements. It doesn't go your way sometimes. But I think it's important that we respect Elevate. I still think they're one of, if not the strongest team in APAC. So, very, very excited to see if they bring that form across to SI and we can see them do a bit of damage because APAC has been struggling on the global stage a little bit. Back to Bakery then for the next round, and Elevate looking to bounce back, of course. No Monty this time, so creating space inside of Bakery might be a bit more challenging, and Onigiri will be forced into more direct fights. Mark will fall first. DCH to follow. Not a great start here for Elevate. And unfortunately, he's just going to be sitting here waiting for these smokes. I can only assume Hysterics still has another. No, that was his last, but rotation force nonetheless. 2v4, 20 seconds. Gotta find something here. Player prone in closet. And the player to the left, the Mozzie, not found either. So 2 sloppy rounds there from Elevate. Alrighty, let's see if Elevate can tidy things up a little bit here. 2-2 the scoreline. Onigiri has been posted up on this position for the majority of the round, but he'll eventually look to rotate up. Impact EMP again. Let's see whether or not he actually hit the second, the shield this time with Gone 6. And it looks like it doesn't actually hit that shield, so the shield's still standing. But nonetheless, he hit a really nice shot there on the repel, so he makes up for that mistake. But Onigiri, please, 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 fix up your pixel util, mate. It is, it's not great. That's alright, it's okay. Still gets the pick. Now a minute to go. Should alleviate a bit of pressure on this entry, but Mark gets taken down. Roma down below. Hysteric's in a bit of a rat position, eventually punished. Not the safest of repels in here. Still some deep angles from sight that can be a problem. But the shield's clear, so Onigiri drains that and knows that that player's in washrooms at the moment. And hits another upside down repel. So he gets fed a little bit in this round, but credit to him, he still hits nice shots. And upside down repelling in Siege can be pretty disorientating if you don't know what you're doing. That long line of sight works for him. DCH gets the kill credit. Now it's just Mentalist left in the 1v4. On the Cav. Onigiri clean with it in the round. Quad kill. He'll be happy with that. Once again, we'll see Onigiri posted up here on the bakery roof, gaining a bit of information. Spots out the goo mine and can relay that to the team. A 5v3. So, a lot of really early duels in these matches. Uses the God 6 to clear the goo mine. Okay. Each to their own. I guess that means a teammate doesn't need to look down on entry. If there's no other util that needs to be cleared, it's not the worst, I guess. Drain's now up above for Elevate to get some vertical control. Shield spotted and called out. Smokes used in response by Shibe. Now the entry to come through. Default dealt with. Although Onigiri just backs off a little bit here, so maybe Elevate not wanting to posture up above. Means I'll need to be a little bit careful now with the flank. A drone now for this horizontal clear inside of train. Mr. Punch makes contact. Onigiri will elect to drone further forward more aggressively on site. Calls that it's clear, so if Elevate read into it, they'll know the last two are up above. And it's just about shutting these players down in the rotation. There's a rotation to come through. Onigiri there perhaps was a little bit exposed on red stairs. Maybe someone from the defense could have aggressed and picked him, but preoccupied elsewhere, of course. Now it's just Nate up above. Onigiri doesn't win the fight. A little bit awkward. Let's see how Elevate go about closing it out. Should be pretty standard. Yeah, Nate makes a sound cue on the drop. Traded out. 4-2 half for Elevate. On to the defensive half now for Elevate. Onigiri on the Maestro. An operator that doesn't really see too much love these days. Once the ACOG got taken off, I think he dropped off significantly overnight. Still can provide some useful information. I would argue that Echo, though, is probably a little bit better. Maestro does have his benefits, though. 3 versus 5. And I think Onigiri was droned out, so he'll probably be under a bit of pressure here soon. Pressure being applied from engine window. Probably not particularly favourable. Shots rain out from red stairs. Onigiri hears that. This plays a tight angle so that he can watch a progression forward from the stairs, but also not expose himself to the window. So positioning here really good. And honestly, he's not under as much pressure as I would have expected. Tide looking to be very careful this round. It's not every day of the week you find 2 free picks at the start of the round against Elevate, so they'll want to try their best in converting a rare opportunity. We'll skip forward a little bit here. Not much is really happening. Very static at the moment. DCH finds one though, so now starts to look a little bit better for Elevate. No vertical pressure here on Onigiri. Maybe an oversight from Tide. The Hysterics finds the kill. Where was that from? Hysterics just pushes up round stairs. Just a quick peek there onto Onigiri. So, despite no vertical pressure there onto Onigiri, gets caught off anyway. And he was checking that angle, so just losing a straight one. The Maestro in play again here for the next round. Hysterics to get the opener. I like this cam. It does offer quite a bit of information for that red stairs push. But again, Elevate lose the first 2 picks. Dockerby as well in play here, so a good counter from Tide. Makes it more frustrating to play around the Maestro. Now we saw this angle when Onigiri was playing the rappel on attack. This long, deep angle all the way from Cocktail. You can see this windowsill. But it might not mean much. Mr. Punch one shot. Onigiri will need to really step up this round. And unfortunately gets traded by Nate. No real fault of his own. I don't think the Maestro pick here is really working out, especially if Dokubu is going to persist, and especially with attacker repick. Maestro's really not that great at the moment, so hopefully we see him switch off. And switch off he does. This is the Onigiri that we love to see halfway into the next round, and he's on the Aruni with the DMR. This is where Onigiri is really in his element. Elevate again at the disadvantage. No one watching Skylight, so he's being allowed to cross. Nate is down, so effectively it is still a 3v3. And Onigiri in a powerful position. Tide probably not expecting anyone to be up close. That's why they go for the res. I remember this moment. Onigiri gets 2, flips the round. Tide with no information on that. No one on the Skylight. Bit of an oversight, but Onigiri makes the play. And then that happened. We're not going to continue watching this round any further. I don't need to say anything. Onigiri getting inside of train for round 10. Last time, remember, Hysterics pushed up Brown, got him from pillars, so he's playing a little bit more passive this time. Hysterics again, though, does find an entry, same spot. And Onigiri wasn't there to trade. So maybe a little bit costly. Not getting pressure for Vert again, though, so if you can win the dual pillars, he's looking good. You can see the drones established inside of pillar watching for it. Skip forward a little bit here. Hysterics is fallen. And I think that's given the cue to Onigiri to push forward a little bit, as well as pressure on site. May look to try and retake pillar here. Team doing good work on site, though. Onigiri forced to be a little bit safer here. Doesn't know if someone's lurking. But Elevate step up. And one of the few rounds where Onigiri doesn't have to have much of an impact and just doesn't want to feed Hysterics Brown stairs, so plays it well. Mozzie, another operator that Onigiri is pretty strong on. And of course there's an Elevate skin as well. Roaming top floor here. Very, very late spawn peek or peek outside, but nets a kill. 3v3 has to go a long way back towards site, and I would assume Tide have a read on this. Was there... No, that was a friendly inside of VIP. Almost got a little bit scared from there, but no, he's safe. Not cut off on the rotation. Tex doesn't find him from closet. So now he's back on site. Playing a bit of an off angle here. Attackers aren't really going to expect someone to just chill on the soft wall here because it's a little bit crazy. But that's what you expect from Onigiri. Loves a good wrap position. And so many memories of him back in the day. On Cafe specifically. Hitting just insane players. He just sits and waits patiently. Eventually rotates off. Barricades Bakery. Okay, I mean, that's a safe play. But Hysterics on the other side of the map. Taken down. Elevate clean up. 7-4 the result. Onigiri eventually... Well, he goes 5-3. Unfortunately, the replay is broken. Again, keep in mind, it was 15-7 across the entirety of the game. So good performance from him. And was a good way for Elevate to start their campaign in Stage 3. But that will conclude the video. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.